Hey, what's going on, guys?
You thought we weren't going to be here, did ya? All right, welcome to another Friday Night Live with us.
Jason and Tina Marie.
All right.
So before we get started, let's go ahead and play a little intro, and let's get
We'll
going.
be right back.
After this.
Welcome to Loving Beyond the I Do podcast. This power couple is building stronger marriages one day at a time. Talking about real issues on love, relationships, and marriage longevity. Let's break down the barriers and engage in healthy conversation with your hosts, Jason and Tina Marie. Take a seat and buckle up because things are about to get real.
Hey, welcome, guys. It sure feels good to be back in the studio, I swear.
Know about that.
It does.
Guys,
a little stressful, but hey.
You know how when you go on vacation for more than just a day, like a week or two, and when you get back, you forgot your passwords, you forgot how to, you forgot everything.
Things are totally different. Everything's been updated.
You forget how everything flows. But we are glad to be back.
Yes.
We're glad to be here with you tonight on a Friday. We are glad for you all who are tuning in now and will be tuning in later. We love and appreciate you.
Yes, and yes.
All right. So we're just going to get into tonight's topic. So tonight we wanted to talk about, since this is our first day back, we wanted to talk about, this is the month of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
And
it is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which are two very serious issues.
Very much so.
That we all deal with in some way or another, right? It's either ourselves, someone we know, someone we love, someone we're close to, or even someone that we see, right?
Right.
And so let's talk, you want to talk about breast cancer awareness first, or you want to talk about...
Sure. I mean, like, that's one of the big things right now. I mean, everybody's basically talking about breast cancer awareness and doing walks and things.
Absolutely. We're gearing up for I know we always do the Sister Strut, so shout out to Sister Strut out there. And there are 1,000 other walks. So
all over.
If you are involved in a breast cancer awareness walk this weekend, next weekend after that, the month of October, drop it in the chat. Or
they need something.
It's not in the chat. It's a comment, right?
It's in the chat. Well, yes, comment. Depends on where you're at, right? Yeah, so it's in the comments.
Drop us a line. Let us know which one you will be engaging in. And if you want to drop the name of the participant and who you are participating for. And if you're not doing it for anyone, you're just doing it. Let us know that too. Drop your name so we can shout it out to you.
Yeah, show them some love. Yeah.
All right. So we just want to welcome everyone who is tuning in tonight. So again, if you are walking or doing something for the month of October for breast cancer awareness, please drop us a comment so that we can shout you out tonight. All right. And then drop the name of the person who you want us to raise up, to lift up in consciousness for breast cancer awareness.
Right.
All right. You want to get anything? Oh, you watch where you at?
I got you. Don't want to mess around and set everybody else,
That's right. So let's shout out our first thing.
Okay.
So we're going to take the comments. Let's put them up there.
All right. So let me get them up. All right. And we
are back again, and our, we got to give our technician.
All right.
Dot is with us. Good evening,
hey, welcome,
Dot. How are you? Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
From
Thanks
Calumet
for coming
City.
in.
Thank you.
Calumet City?
All right.
That's right.
So let's see. Is Dot participating in one?
I don't know. Dot, are you going to participate in the walk at all? Let us know. Yeah.
I think so.
She might have been adding people to know.
Okay. So Pat, let us know. Dot, let us know, because I saw a name say Pat.
Okay.
So, Dot, let us know if you will be participating in something this month and what the person's name is. So, just kind of make it clear so that we know this is the walk I'm walking in, or this is what I'm doing, and this is the person who I'm doing it for. So,
you're talking about breast cancer.
Breast cancer.
Yep, awareness. It's man, it's really something. So many women are affected by that. Men
Absolutely.
too.
Absolutely.
Men also suffer from it as well. They're not excluded from it, but it's hit close to home for me as well. So, it's just, it's a battle to go through, right? It's the whole family goes through this whole entire thing.
Which brings me to my first question: is for those of you out there who actually have either gone through it, you're brave enough and have the courage to share with us tonight. whether you've gone through it, whether you know someone very close to you who has gone through it, how did you support them? How were you supported? Because I know when you first find out, it's hard, right?
But devastating,
right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we feel like we don't want to share with anybody. We share with very close people, but for survivors out there or someone who may have known someone, please share with us, how do we lift people up in that space? How do we support them? How do we show up? And in relationships, so as Jason and I always talk about, relationships are not just intimate, right?
Right.
Husband and wife or whatever, right? Girlfriend and boyfriend. It's always about the relationships that we have in our life. How do we lift people up in that space? So please share with us if someone out there and social media land.
Yeah. And even if you watch it on the replay, I mean, if you could just show some love.
Show some love. Let us know how, as a husband, how can you lift, your wife up who may be going through this? If you are a friend, how can you show up? How can you lift them up? How can you support them where they feel your presence, but they don't feel like you've changed. Right? So if you are a survivor, how did people show up for you that you appreciated, or what were some ways that they showed up that you didn't appreciate? So the thing is about sharing. So it's all about, how do we make our relationships better? So please let us know in those spaces, how do we support breast cancer awareness besides just, supporting
wearing
with
a pink
money,
shirt and doing a walk.
Or some people
when you get behind closed doors, it's a different story, right? When you're going through the battle and you're dealing with this on a day-to-day, or you're supporting a friend or a loved one, it's a very different thing than actually coming out for a walk. Walks are wonderful. Now, Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not. But when we need a little bit more support behind closed doors, how are we showing up for people?
How do we do that? So if people want to do more and they want to support you, just share with us what that looks like.
And two, are you willing to accept it? Because sometimes if you're going through that, you may not want what you may call, like sympathy or something like that, right? So we may not be so open to that. So how, if anyone has gone through it or is going through it, how are you, if you're able to talk about it, so I understand you may not be able to talk about it, and that's not fine. We're going to lift you up anyway. But what about if you're able, are you, like kind of pushing off, like, I don't want the help, just I'll be fine or whatever, or are you receiving the help? That's part of healing too, being able to receive when you need to, when someone wants to express love to you.
And I'm not sure, I might have to research this real quick. I saw something about mental illness. I don't know if October is mental illness.
Okay.
Right? And so it said, just remember, or it just may have been a post, that remember, mental illness is not people pretending they're sick, it's pretending they're okay.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that's tough too. Yes.
Right. So it's the same thing with this. Sometimes we pretend that we're okay, but we really need the support that we don't even know we need. So it's about, how do I show up for you? How do I support you? Help people who may be navigating that space maybe for the first time, or have been navigating it for a while and they just don't know how to show up for someone else.
Yeah, we got one.
All right, let's take our next comment.
All right.
Okay, walking for breast cancer awareness for Jackie Ellis.
All right, let's give it up for Jackie Ellis.
Let's give it up for Dot and Jackie Ellis. Yes. All right, so thank you for sharing with us, Dot.
Yeah, and she also says she kept her friend.
Okay. I kept my friend Jackie uplifted with positive comments. Yes, staying in contact, affirmations, and prayer.
That's right.
Absolutely. So sometimes we think that affirmations and prayer can only be done in the presence of that person.
No.
Right?
Right.
We can hold the space. We can hold the gap for someone also. We can pray for someone as well as pray with someone.
Right.
Right? We can do it all. Prayer doesn't have any limits. But we have to remember that if someone wants you to just pray for them or with them, we can do that in a way that we're lifting them up. We're holding them in consciousness. We are sending, because we're made of energy. We're energy beings.
That's right. Come on. You're getting a little bit of that manifestation there. Come on, girl.
It's so funny. So I'm gonna let Jason share, because I like to talk a lot. I'm gonna let Jason share his story about the remote and how our bodies are just pure energy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's something I learned a long time ago. So this goes back to 1986, 1987. I used to install car alarms and stuff. So when the batteries got low and it didn't work, what we had to do was just used our body, because our body is made of energy. You just stick it under your chin.
The electrical currents.
And it will unlock the doors, do whatever, disarm the alarm. So you know, the batteries were low. So you hold it under there.
He's talking about
the key fobs.
The key fobs.
Right.
So back then, there were key fobs too, right? They were wasn't as advanced
right. So
now.
when the batteries got low, you just stick it on your chin because you use your body and you click it and it unlocks. So fast forward some 30-odd years later, my son goes, so my battery is running low in the car and in the key fob. And I was like, oh, baby, don't worry about it. Just boop. And it opened the door and she got in and then she boop and started the car. So my son goes to get the car. He gets the keys and he's like, man, this thing won't unlock the door. And then Tina says, oh, just put it on your chin. You go, that ain't all right.
What is that going to do?
Right. Like, what is that going to do? You did it, boom, it unlocked the door, right? He's like, oh, okay. He sat in the car, tried to start it, it wouldn't start. She said, stick it under your chin.
Put it. You have to get the connection, right?
There you go.
So when we're talking about sending prayer or lifting someone up, we can do that from wherever we are.
Yes.
We can do that if we know someone. We can lift them up and send energy. We can visualize us sending energy to that person, healing energy. So everything is possible. So we just tonight on our show, we're sending healing energy to everyone out there who is a survivor, everyone who has have to deal with this unusual, circumstance. So we send energy to everyone and we uplift you, we encourage you, and we support you, and we love you. So just know that we are all for the cause, right?
Yeah. I think that gave a full government name this time. Whole government.
Jacqueline Thomas Ellis. So Ellis is a capital E. So we go right because she was like, let me get that in. All right. So Jacqueline for Jackie, we are sending you up. Jacqueline Thomas Ellis. We are uplifting you as well as I know for us personally, our mom. Well, Jason's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Jason's.
Yep.
His father's wife. So I don't want to call her the stepmom because she's not. She's like a mom. She's a grandmother, right? So, but he's not his biological mom, but his mom through marriage. And so, she's a survivor.
Yep.
And has gone through a lot and is still,
a lot of health challenges, yeah.
Yes,
and still very positive and uplifting.
And still doing mentally what she needs to do, physically and emotionally, to make sure that
she's in
control.
Yeah, she's a strong woman.
Don't lose your control over any situation and circumstance of your life. Stand on top of it. Don't let it stand on top of you. So we just want to give everyone a shout out. And like I said, in relationships, that's important because if your spouse is going through that, this is a time where with anything, it's a space that you've never navigated before.
Exactly.
And people are very sensitive and vulnerable during that time. And so sometimes this is where the relationship gets strenuous because if I'm saying that right, it's like a mixture of words. Strained. Thank you. I could just go with that one.
There you go. That's why I'm here to catch you, baby.
Right. It gets strained and we're projecting. It's not really what our partner or our friend is doing.
Right.
It's the thing that we're going through that we don't know how to handle or to ask for the type of support that we need at that moment. Because sometimes we feel like, people feel sorry for me. And that's really not the case. Sometimes we have to get out of our own heads to realize that people really do want to help you in the best way they can. And
if you need extra support in a different way, you have to ask for it, right? Because if my consciousness is to come over and maybe sit with you and maybe not do much for you, that's my consciousness. But if you need something else while I'm there, then you just say, hey, can you do this for me? Or I need a little help doing this. So you have to help the person along because I'm only doing it from my own level of consciousness. And if, like I said, if you need something different, then you just ask for it.
And like I said, with any situation, if we've never had that situation before, we don't know what we need. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to handle situations. So it's just like when COVID occurred, right? Mm-hmm. This was a space that people hadn't navigated before, and you either got stronger or you went your separate ways. And this is a time where the people who love you want to show up for you. So we have to be able to reach out and get help, get support groups, find the resources that you need to help you navigate that space so that you can be in the right headspace mentally, physically, emotionally, so that you can combat it together. Right? It's not a one-person journey. Everyone needs everyone. So, that's my 2 cents on it, is just making sure that we are getting the literature, we're getting the knowledge, we're getting the wisdom, how to show up, how to ask people to support us. Maybe even to say, hey, I know you mean well, but I need you to do this. And doing it in a type of way that's kind, right? Or
Right.
or can be received. So I know we just have to show up. So for those who, all right, so let's, we got somebody else who dropped something in there.
Okay.
Let's shout out all of our Friday night viewers or our viewers. All right.
Hi, Dennis.
All
Hey,
right.
happy Friday. It's
Dennis.
been a minute.
Yes. It's good to be back, and it's good to see your name on the
Yes,
screen. I'm
yes,
glad that
welcome.
you decided to tune in with us. We're talking about breast cancer awareness, and then we're talking about domestic violence. The month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as well as Domestic Violence Month.
But you know
Awareness Month.
Yeah, and that's low key, the domestic violence.
It
I mean,
is.
but it flies
It
under the
is.
radar maybe because of breast cancer awareness.
No, I think it's just one of those issues that we have to stand bold on.
Okay.
So we were talking about how to support. So Dennis, I don't know if you're doing anything for breast cancer awareness. If you know someone, if like I said, just what we were doing is, if you're doing anything for the month of October
Right.
for someone, just let us know what you're doing. Type it in the comment, and then put the person's name so we can all hold them up, so we can support them as best as we can. So anyone out there who may be tuning in, we are giving accolades to Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Please, if you are doing something for the month of October, let us know what you are doing.
Supporting somebody,
If you're supporting someone, if you're supporting yourself, if you're just donating,
if you want to shout out a
organization.
a organization or a family member, someone has gone through it.
Right. Or if you
please
yourself
do.
have gone through it and you have the courage to just drop your name, or drop the name of the person who you are doing it for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're doing. Can we show dots again, please?
Sure.
So thank you, everyone out there. If you want us to shout you out, don't forget. I know it's been a while, but you
this
have to
one?
drop your comment. Yes. So Dot is walking for breast cancer awareness for Jacqueline. Let's go back to the full name.
Jacqueline Thomas Ellis.
Thank you, Jacqueline Thomas Ellis. Did it say Thomas?
Yep, it said Thomas Ellis. Yep.
Can I see it on the screen?
You
All
sure
right.
can, baby.
All right, Jacqueline
Because
Thomas
obviously
Ellis.
you don't believe me.
I did. I just want everyone else to see it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I got you.
And then we had Dennis. Welcome back, Dennis.
All right, Dennis
So
has
any other
some.
comments?
Yep.
All right, domestic violence is never good. Yes, I grew up in that toxic environment as a child from birth till...
6 years old.
All right, thank you. That's why you got my eyes for me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dennis. And so you stay tuned, because we're talking about breast cancer, and then we're going straight into domestic violence.
And then also Dennis.
No, I haven't experienced anyone with breast cancer. Well, that's good.
Good.
That's
Yep.
wonderful. That's
Yep.
wonderful. All right, we have another comment. Let's get another comment.
Yep.
All right. Oh, Sandra.
I found you.
We were not lost.
We might have been hiding.
You.
It only felt like we were hiding.
Right.
We were right
Hey,
here the whole
Sandra.
time. Every
Yes.
Friday we were here.
No, we weren't. No, we weren't. Right. But again, we do want to hold the space for anyone who may be going through that health challenge.
Yes.
And so what we were asking is, if you have been had firsthand experience with it, how did you show up? How did you either get supported or show support? Because we're talking about relationships. We're navigating relationships. And this is a space where relationships are really important when we're going through health challenges.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah. It's how you show up. It's all about how you show up, how you support the person, how you show them that you love them.
With respect to how they want it. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? Now, this is it, because I heard someone say, can you love me when I'm unlovable? Now, when you're going through a health challenge, you may be unlovable.
Right.
But can you still love that person when you're unlovable?
Yeah. Or even love the person who's trying to, when you're unlovable, love the person who's trying to love you, because it's out of love that they're trying to help you.
Yeah.
Like I said, when we're navigating these new spaces, we don't know what to do.
Right.
We don't know how to show up. We don't know what you need. So this is a time where we need to reach out and get the information and the knowledge and the resources that are out there to help us, to show us this is how you show up for someone that may be going through that.
Right.
Or this is what you need to do or ask of your loved ones if it's you. So just we stop at getting the knowledge we need to just get that other little piece to the puzzle.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? All right. So we got another little comment. All right. I know I'm doing his job tonight. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
you try.
I support Cancer Support Team fundraiser on October 12th.
All right. All right, Sandra.
All right. Thank you for staying active, staying positive. And like I said, I know usually Christ Universal Temple does it for the Sister Strut. So shout out to Sister Strut. Shout out to all the participants. Shout out to all the survivors. Shout out to the family members and friends who have been there. So shout out to all of the events. We don't know all of the organizations who are doing it.
But you're doing it for a noble cause. And you're doing it to bring awareness.
Absolutely. So our next topic is, and like I said, how we relate that is because it's a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
And so
it's a relationship, and sometimes it can be stressful.
As we learn, relationships are not just intimate, right? But it's what we do with ourselves, is what we do with our mates that falls into the other categories of how our relationships are with other people. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the relationship that we have with our children sometimes roll over into how we have relationships with other people, because these are people who are dominant in your life all the time.
Yep.
And so we get into a rut or a habit of how we deal with people in certain situations. So when those same situations come up with somebody different, you tend to act the same way with that person that you may act with your mate.
Ooh.
And so this is where awareness comes. Right. So when I know I had a wonderful experience this week with someone talking about relationships, and we won't say any names, but just how we do things, and we tell ourselves this story. So I don't know anyone who has listened to our podcast. We always talk about changing the narrative, right?
Yeah.
So we tell ourselves this story when someone doesn't do what we think they should be doing, or they haven't done it, or whatever the issue may be. And so we tell ourselves why.
Ooh.
We tell ourselves the story. We don't ask
about the other person.
About the other person.
Okay.
We tell ourselves this story, and then we go out and we try to find confirmation for it.
We go out and get all the evidence.
All the evidence. And we keep feeding ourselves. We keep feeding the story that we've told ourselves, even though it may not be true.
Well,
that's what we do.
Make it true.
That's what we do.
Right. We want to have to get the evidence so we can make it true.
Because we feel a certain way, and we know what we're thinking.
Yeah.
And so we just say, this must be it. This is definitely it. And then the person stopped and thought about the character of the person in whom they were talking about, which was me. Let me get in my space. Which was me. And then it was like an aha moment between both of us when they said, well, you know what? You're right. It's not, it's any relationship, right? Because we fall into the trap of...
They actually told you that?
They did. They was like, wow. Like,
that was big of them.
That was. That's what I said. And I said, you know, we all learn, right? We tell ourselves the story of somebody. I see somebody, they didn't speak.
Ooh.
So why didn't they speak?
I have to admit, I've done that before.
Right. So we tell ourselves this story in our head. We didn't even ask the person.
Right.
And so we go,
maybe I didn't speak up loud enough. Maybe they didn't hear me. Maybe they had something on their mind.
Oh, wow. That's what we're doing now? We're not speaking? Okay. Then you go to somebody else and say, that person doesn't like me.
Yep.
Well, how do you know they don't? Oh, well, they didn't speak. I spoke to them. They didn't speak. And you do it again. They didn't speak. You never know what someone has going on in their head. You don't know. They may be listening to something. Like, we come up with all these stories in our head.
We do.
And it's not even the truth. So when we're talking about...
And we need to stop making it the truth.
And so when we talk about communication, right? Being able to communicate to someone how you're feeling or what you're thinking or why. So when we're showing up in different spaces in different ways, let's make sure that the narrative we're telling ourselves is... We've gotten the other side of the story. We're not just feeding ourselves the story. So I know we have another. Let's get all our viewers tonight. Yeah. We don't want to miss anyone.
I know, right?
All right. Hello, Regina. So Regina, thank you for joining us this Friday. We are asking if you are doing anything for breast cancer awareness, and if you are, can you please drop it in the comment? Let us know whether you're walking, what organization, and who you're walking for if you are. And then we also asked if you have had the firsthand experience with someone, either yourself or someone in your family or friend that has had breast cancer, how did you support them? So we're just looking for ways that we can share with other people. How can we support people in that space the best way possible?
That's right. All right, here we go.
Can you read that or do...
Well, I can try that.
Oh, I'm gonna need you to if someone needs you to open it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
All right. So you have to understand we're a little further.
Ooh.
Sometimes a person who is going through a health challenge becomes
lost, confused, unsure,
and wonder why them and my come across to others as being
mean, etc. Therefore, the other person
must be understanding of the situation and just support
as much as possible.
So we're reading too because there's,
we have blockage.
Yep. So we have cameras in front of us. So there you
go. So that's true.
Exactly. We have to be able to know how to understand, support, and be patient. Give grace.
That's the thing. Okay, so if we're helping out with support, we have to be.
That's okay, Dad.
Yeah, that's okay, Dad. Yeah, we saw. Yep. We just have to be open and receptive to the other person. No, they may come out of a bag on us. They don't feel well. They dealing with pain or whatever.
Or they're dealing with the situation itself.
Right. And you become unsure. Like she said, you become unsure, wondering. Like, hey, what's going on? You have to be in control of their mind. I have a family member that's going through a health challenge, and I got a text, and it was all over the place.
Their mind
was all over the place, and I was following the text, and I just typed back. Stop, breathe. Let's get in control of your mind. Watch your thoughts, because thoughts become things.
Absolutely.
So let's not just blurt out or text words that you really don't mean.
Again, the narrative that we're telling ourselves in our head, right?
Exactly.
Someone has told us something.
Right.
And we've taken it for what they say as the truth.
And we're going down the rabbit hole.
Instead of standing on who we are and what we want out of life, we've just taken someone else's word for it. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying, this is the situation. I may not be able to comprehend or understand it right now, but I know what I want from it. And this is what I say it's going to be, not what someone else says. Okay, so that's where we were going on breast cancer awareness. I don't know if you can type that. Are you able to type that in the chat for us and just let people know what? No, okay,
I'm not the narrator.
See, we missed that. We don't
have a narrator now. Yeah.
So the other thing is what we're talking about, which is very close to relationships. As we go through October, we will be doing more and more of it. Is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Yep.
And so I just wanted to. There is a day. And so in
October, right?
Yeah, in reference to that. So it says Purple Thursday. So for everyone, the Purple Thursday or Go Purple Day is a national day of action on October the 17th during Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Everyone is encouraged to wear all things purple as a symbol of peace, courage, survival, honor, and personal dedication to domestic violence awareness.
Wow.
And why I wanted to bring this up tonight was because domestic violence can show up in a lot of different ways.
Yep.
And the thing is that the person who's in it may not even be aware that it's domestic violence. Sometimes it's not as simple as a black eye or broken bone or bruise, right? Sometimes it's mentally. Sometimes domestic violence is so detrimental mentally that all the other things show up in your life that you don't even realize that they're stemming from the domestic violence.
Yep.
And as much as we like to judge, judgment is what that person needs the least. The thing is to bring awareness. And so I was talking with someone and I said, what type of person would I be? What type of mother would I be? What type of sister or friend would I be if I knew someone in that situation and I didn't speak up? I just turned a blind eye, right? So domestic violence is so important to relationships. People stay in relationships for all different reasons, even when they know they're toxic, even when they know with their whole being that this is not the way love is supposed to be or feel. And as Dennis shared with us earlier, sometimes when we grow up in that environment, we think this is normal. As a matter of fact, I had a girlfriend that told me that. She was in a domestic violence situation, and it wasn't until later that she told me about it. And I said, well, why didn't you tell me? I had no idea you were going through that. And shame, embarrassment, right? All these things.
But it wasn't her fault, though.
Exactly.
See? And that's
how we have to. That's how we have to deal with this. So tonight, I may do a lot of the talking because this is a little bit more of what I wanted to share tonight. And so it's just that, just like with breast cancer awareness, we don't know what that person's going through. And unless they share it, there's no way we can help. It's the same thing with domestic violence. We have to be able, when people start pulling away and they're normally close to you, a friend, and they're in a relationship and it's changing where they're not calling you, they're not talking to you, they're pulling
becoming
away.
distant.
Yes. We have to be able to recognize some of the signs, right? Like I said, some of the signs are not as obvious as the black eye. And
Some people
sometimes
can
it is.
camouflage it very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and that's just a coping mechanism. That's all, right?
Yes.
One is shame and embarrassment, and then you just trying to cope with it. You need to show that it is normal, right? You know, our relationship is good.
And what they said was that I didn't think it was domestic violence. I thought it was normal. I thought that all relationships went through this.
Wow.
I thought that,
and that could be something that came up in the house, right? If you see some,
not even, but it could have been in the house, like what Dennis said, right? If you grew up in a household and that's what you see and hear,
that's
you
relationship.
think it's normal.
Right.
You think that's how relationships are supposed to operate. This particular person just said that being young, you didn't know. You thought that, okay, love is you're supposed to argue, disagree, and he's supposed to hit you and do all the things that he did. And so this brings us into how this whole thing started with P. Diddy, right? A video of domestic violence. How we turn a blind eye when we know there's something that's going on that needs to be told. When we allow other people.
Somebody, and I'll say this for a male, somebody should help. Somebody should step up and be a man and say that's not right. I mean, I just
We're
don't
not saying
understand.
that people didn't, right? Because we know in
but I'm
several
just saying
situations where people say stuff and they get pushed aside because, as they say, money is the bottom line, right? But we're talking about lives here. And people don't want you to interfere with the way their money operates. And that's when we have to be the bigger person. How do I show up? How do I get the message across to someone that domestic violence is not the answer, right? So it's not, sometimes it's just being able to pull that person aside and give them some literature, send them something that helps them to see that their behavior is not normal, right? Or helping someone who may be in that situation, finding a way, researching, how do I help someone to see when they're in domestic violence, when they're in a domestic violence situation? How do I support them? How do I show up? Because most of the times, like I said, sometimes we don't know. We don't know because
majority of the time, I mean, they do a good job of masking it because, like you said, it's an embarrassment. But when you find out, what do you do? I mean, like you can't. They don't want you to be feeling sorry for them, right?
Right.
So how do you support them, right? If someone comes to you and it's like, hey, I was going through this.
talk
how
to
do
the
I?
audience.
Oh, yeah, I am talking. How do you, that you're hustling right now.
Okay.
All right. So how do you support them when they come out and they tell you, how do you show up for them? How do you let them know that it's okay, it's nothing to be ashamed of?
Most of the time, people won't even tell you until it's too
I mean,
late.
right.
Until you know,
You
right?
see evidence, right?
Right.
Or they're
they-
out of that relationship. And girl, let me tell you, or boy, let me tell you what happened. This
Right.
person was crazy and this and the other, right? They'll give you what was going on. But why? Why is that the case? Why can't we confide in and we'll ask for help? And that's just part of the problem.
And then, like I said, so it's all about awareness, right?
Well,
we
yeah.
have to bring awareness to people, especially young girls,
Yeah.
right? Who are in, and I say that because I'm a woman.
Well, I don't say that because I'm a man. We got to do a better job. We can't be around here hitting on folks either.
And it, like I said, if we've seen this, if we see it in videos, if we see it around us, if we think this, and nobody says anything, right? You hit your girlfriend in a whole room full of people and nobody says anything.
Yep.
Right? Everybody's thinking it, but nobody says it.
Right.
That's the time we have to stand up. Domestic violence awareness means bringing awareness
Yep.
to what is going on. We can't sit back and want things to change and be too afraid to say something. And if you don't have the courage to say something in front of everybody, then say something to that person.
Pull them aside.
Pull
or
them
something.
aside.
Yeah.
Or we
whisper
have
in
to,
the person's ear. Don't act like it didn't happen. I mean, like if someone's on the receiving end, you come up and you encourage them, right? Like if you need to talk to somebody, if you need someone to help you get out of a situation, you can offer your help.
and it's easier. We know it's easier said than done.
Right.
Right. There's so many situations where people may say, well, I don't have any place else to go.
Right.
I don't have anything else to do. So let us not fall to that mindset that there's nothing else to do, that you have to stay in a relationship that you know is not good for you, that it's unhealthy. So we're talking about relationships. That's our thing, relationships. And that's every relationship, whether the domestic violence is from your parents, whether it's from your siblings, whether it's from your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your neighbor, whoever. Domestic violence is not acceptable. And we have to be able to bring awareness to what's going on to the forefront, right? And so people are now, it takes one person, right? When we took a leadership class, it said the first leader. So the first person who decided to come forward in the P. Diddy case against the domestic violence, kudos to you. Because a lot of people may have wanted to do it, but just didn't have the courage.
Yep.
But we cannot sit back and allow this to go on and act like we don't know that it's taking place. And if we don't know what to do, there's so many hotlines. There's so much help out there. Go to the Google University. It knows everything. Right? So let's get it. There's a comment. Let's get the comment there. Shout out to Dr. Hardy, I can't, what is it? Hardy, say it for us, whatever.
Rita.
Yeah, I think that's her name. I always mess up her name, so I apologize for that now. McDowell, Sharon Fest.
On this Sunday to support breast cancer awareness and advocacy.
Pink ribbon.
Okay.
All right.
Congratulations.
Yes.
I mean, thank you so much for the
I'm going to say
support.
Dr. McDowell.
There you
I
go.
always mess up her first name.
Yeah, so do I.
My apologies.
Yeah.
But thank you. Thank you for the breast cancer awareness. Thank you for the information. Thank you for spreading the word, because there are so many people who sit back and think that they have to live in shame. And it's not about shame. It's about getting the courage to mentally to stand in your power, not letting anything or anyone take that away from you. And that's the same thing with domestic violence. Standing in your power.
And you also have to continue to work on yourself, right? So if you can work on yourself, you can understand that this is something that that you're not going to stand for, right? You have to know your worth. You have to know who you are as a person. So you have to continue to work on yourself, because if you don't work on yourself, people will definitely tell you who you are and how you're supposed to be, how you should act, how you should represent. So it's a continual basis that you have to continue to work on yourself to find out who you are. I mean, it's been a lifelong journey, right? I'm still finding out who Jason is, right? You think you know, and then you have another birthday, a year old or so. Then you find I don't know who this
Thank
cat
God
is.
for another birthday.
Right. And I'm not knocking the birthdays now, but you just have to continue to find out who you are. But again, men, we have to do a better job.
And it's not always men.
It's women, but I'm talking to the men because that's what I know.
Okay.
I know men. So, and I'm just saying, we have be supportive of our women, especially if they're dealing with breast cancer or any illness, because I can tell you one thing: if the tables would turn, there's no better person to take care of you than your wife. I'm telling you. I saw a post on Facebook the other day.
Okay.
And it was a man and wife in the car, and the man was going to the doctor, and she was running down, okay, we're going to get this check, this, that, and that. He's like, well, I never go when you go. She said, yeah, but the last time you went to the doctor, you came back, you couldn't tell me nothing. I need to know. I need to know all this. And that's how it is, and that's how we need to be. We need to be more attentive. We need to know what's going on. We need to pay more attention to what's going on. I can say, in my own relationship, my wife is very attentive. She pays so much more attention to me. I'm like, how do you notice this stuff about me? And I don't even notice it. So we just have to get better at that too. We have to get better at putting our ladies first and being respectful to our ladies.
And so for domestic violence, it says, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time to shed light on a critical issue that affects millions of individuals and families across the nation. This month serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of recognizing, addressing, and preventing domestic violence in all its forms, whether it's verbal, whether it's mental, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional. So we just have to, as Jason said, just piggybacking off of that is being in tune, being aware. If you know someone and you've been friends for a while and you see signs, and if you're not sure of the signs, let's get let's get educated in some of the signs.
Yeah.
I know my mom, and this is something different, but my mom had a stroke when she was alive. And at the time she had it, none of us knew the signs. Me and my sisters, we didn't know. And then, as they say, 20/20 is hindsight, right?
Yeah.
And it was after she had it that the doctor said, well, did this happen? Did this happen? This, all these things. And we're like, yeah, wow. So there's signs to everything. People give you signs. There's red flags. And we have to be able to pay attention. And so me, myself, having a daughter, I tell her all the time the importance of red flags. As women, sometimes we lead with our heart instead of our head.
Yeah.
And I know they said men lead with their head instead of their heart.
Right.
And not this head. But anyway. All right. So, but the point is that we're not leading with this head. There has to be a balance. We have to be able to love someone, but still have enough knowledge and insight and intuition, using our intuition to know when something doesn't feel right to you, you have the intuition, right? So there has to be a balance. If you have too much heart, then you're not using the knowledge.
There you go.
If you get too much knowledge, then you're not using the heart. So there has to be a balance. And I tell my daughter all the time, as a young woman, be aware of your intuition. Be in tune with it. Know when this is not the relationship for you, whether it's with a friend or a male, right? Whether any type of relationship. Know when it's not.
No, go ahead. I'm agreeing with you.
No,
No. I was like, but you always say that, and I always say, always be mindful of your surroundings. Always know what you're walking into. Pay attention to situations. So I always try to tell all the kids that, but especially my daughter, be mindful of the rooms that you're going into.
Now relate that into relationships.
Because you could find yourself in a predicament that you don't need to be in.
In a relationship?
In a relationship.
Okay,
in a relationship, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
right,
That's what I'm saying. So you have to be mindful. You just can't go blindly into
Letting somebody lead
spaces
you.
and stuff
Right.
like that and be so trusting and things of that nature. So
Absolutely.
you have to be alert.
Be in tune with intuition.
You do. And when
Absolutely.
something in the gut says that something's not right, please pay attention.
Oftentimes women get bamboozled is because they're leading with their heart.
Yep. Or you know what? You want something to be more than what it is.
Exactly. So people feed you what they want. They feed you what you want, and you believe it. Rather than having a balance of, is this right? Am I getting signs? Are they saying and doing what's are they in alignment? Or is this really what it is? Right? Sometimes we say if something is too good to be true,
it is.
Most of the time it is.
Yep,
Not saying that relationships aren't good.
Right.
We're just talking about situations, period.
Right.
Somebody befriends you, right? And then you find yourself, as you said, Jason, very good point, in a situation that you didn't have to be in because, right, whether it's being taken advantage of. Right, whether it's whatever the situation is.
Right.
So just,
but there were signs leading up to that. You just, you decided to ignore those signs, and then you end up.
Or just your intuition. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And you get the gut feeling. A lot of times I didn't pay attention to my intuition, and I found myself in a situation that I shouldn't have if I would have just listened. So this is nothing that hasn't happened to us. This is nothing that we're not working through when intuition is calling or telling us, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you should do this.
Or even in relationships with people that we just meet, right? You never know someone's intention.
Yeah.
No one's going to show you that they're a wolf the first time they meet you.
Right.
But the whole point of this conversation is for people who are in relationships, and it's not a healthy relationship.
Yes.
And you don't know whether or not it's healthy. Go Google it. Go Google what is domestic violence? How does it show up? How does it affect lives? What is it? Let us spread the word about what it is, what it looks like, and how to prevent it and how to get out of it.
Yeah.
Because so many times people don't know how to leave. They feel like, well, this person really loves me. And I have to tell people, love shouldn't hurt you, right? Love is supposed to build you up. It doesn't tear you down. And if someone believes that that's part of love, then they obviously don't have an awareness of what love is.
Okay.
Okay? So I think that's all I have to say about it. Are there any other? So anyone else out there? Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
No. I said that's two of the points. So, yep.
So, I mean, we don't have to beat a dead horse, but I did want to uplift those two things for this month.
You're sure they're super important.
Very important.
Yep.
Very important. And as we navigate, Jason and I, the space of relationships, we do come across people that are in those situations. Not every relationship is meant to last.
That's true.
Okay? If you got into it for the wrong reasons, or it doesn't feel right, just because you're in it doesn't mean that's where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So let's all be attuned. Let's all be aware. Let's try to just recognize when people may need help, whether we know them or not. Let's stop thinking that it's all about us. It's not. It's how can we serve other people with the knowledge that we have? How can we show up in spaces differently? What's the point of having knowledge if you're not going to share it?
Woo.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
So, and it's not being conceited or, big-headed. It's about God gives us information. We seek information. God gives us the wisdom, right? And then we put that with knowledge. And then we're able to share that with those who may not have those opportunities. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people who are out there that need to know some of the things that you do. Share it. Share your wisdom. Share your knowledge. Share your love. We have some other comments.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going to get out of here.
Yeah, we got one more thing to talk about, though.
Okay. Oh, okay, we do. Okay. They don't know how to leave or scared to leave the relationship. Absolutely.
100%. Some people don't know how to end the relationship, and some people are scared. Well, what will I do?
Exactly. I have nowhere else to go, or you're wrong. They love me. And so the thing is that, and it's not and that's why I said we have to get the knowledge of how to help them. Because sometimes just telling people, they don't want to hear it or they don't want you to know.
Right.
So we have to get the knowledge of how do I see the signs and how do I navigate that space and successfully help people who need help. How do I reach out to them?
Yeah, I think the worst thing you could tell somebody, like if someone tells you something, you go, if I were you, I would, but you're not me. You're not me. You don't have my experiences. You're not in the relationship. You're just on the outside looking in. So you can't say if you were me, you would do this. So I don't think that's the best thing to tell somebody when they try to confide in you. But yeah, one, they're scared because people don't know how to end the relationship.
Right.
Sometimes it took me long enough to get this relationship. It's got some bumps, some good times and some bad times. And this rough patch we're going through is going to get better. So they start making up all these different things so they can just justify the good portions of the relationship. But if your relationship has a lot of bumps and valleys and things that you need to overcome,
bruises.
Yep, then that is your relationship. And you have to try to find the good times, then that's not your relationship.
You
need
need to
reevaluate that whole thing there. So,
and that goes from understanding what does relationships encompass, right?
Yeah, what is a healthy relationship? Right, what does a healthy relationship look like?
Because people say, well, we're not domestic violence.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
We're good.
And then
I just don't make them upset.
The thing is that we really just don't know. We don't know. So we have any other comments?
No, that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
So now, we do.
Okay.
Dennis just shouting out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a statement, that's for sure. So
absolutely. So we have to, one, get the knowledge, get the awareness, right? Know the signs.
Right.
And then know what to do in those situations, because we all know someone who's in a relationship as well as ourselves. How do we help them?
Yeah, and I know it's not fun talking about breast cancer and domestic violence, but it's an important topic. So we just have to just deal with it and bring it out.
Who talks about fun? We talking about relationships. Do we ever talk about fun?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I know my next topic is fun.
All right, let's move to the next topic. So our next thing to talk about is our book. Can y'all see it?
AKA my baby.
Manifest a joy-filled relationship. And shout out to Dennis, shout out to Sandra, shout out to Dot, who all have a copy.
Yes.
So go ahead. You.
Yeah. I was saying that we've been gone for a while. It's been a few Fridays that we were away.
Just a few.
Mm-hmm. And while we were away, we had a baby, and the baby is named Manifest. And the baby was delivered on August 20th, and it was well received. And I think it's going to bring a lot of joy to a lot of people in the world.
A lot of knowledge.
That's
the point of the book. It's awareness. The point of this book was awareness, to understand and to know what you can do to manifest a joy-filled relationship. And as I said,
do you want to take them on a journey a little bit?
There's so many things that we could have put in this book. So it doesn't have everything, but
it has enough.
We pray that it has what you need at this time.
It has enough. It has enough.
All right.
Right. That's what the Lord said.
Go ahead. I'm following you. You said that's your baby. So people always see the end result. They don't know all of the labor that it took to get here.
Right. So now we're talking about the secrets to manifesting. 1 is awareness. 2 is, 1 and 2 are the same thing, awareness, but it's awareness in breast cancer, how to support someone. 2 is basically the same thing, how to support loved ones and what that really looks like. So you need to get the knowledge and see what that looks like. 3 is actually manifesting something from nothing, right? From an idea, from a blank page, a blinking cursor, and actually having it to grow into something. We were actually going back over it, and we're thinking about how we got to this point, what we were doing, and how many roadblocks, how many times we could have just threw our hands up. How many times we went to our respective corners, right? Because we couldn't see eye to eye. It wasn't an easy task, but I'm glad that it made it out into the world because of the feedback that we've been getting. People have stopped us, and we've had conversations about the book. And it's like, man, it was wonderful that you actually thought enough about people to write it to help them in their life. I said that's what was delivered to us. And like Tina says now, if you guys have an issue with the book, take it to God, because God wrote the book.
God wrote the book.
God wrote the book.
We were just open and receptive.
That's
God
it.
wrote the book. So, like Jason said, so it was a journey. But usually when we're going through things, we don't always recognize and appreciate the journey. So we had to constantly tell ourselves, enjoy the journey, because it won't always be here.
Right.
Enjoy the journey. Yep. And there wasn't always times we enjoyed it. It was a little stressful at times, but we got the book out. So if you don't have your copy and you are in a relationship with yourself, because that's the first
that's
relationship.
The key, right? So you have to be in a relationship with yourself, which we all are in a relationship with ourselves, right? So that's the main,
go ahead.
That's the main one. So you should just go over to manifestajoyfilledrelationship.com and pick up your copy.
Pick up your copy.
Pick up your copy.
And just spread the word. So we just want to let you know that the book has dropped. The book is out. It came out August 20th. It is an Amazon bestseller. Yep. It is also a #1 new hot release. So we are just overjoyed and grateful.
Yes.
It's like that bundle of joy just brought all that pain was worth it.
Yes, it was.
So we definitely appreciate it. We thank each and every person who supported us in any way you did, any way you did.
Yes.
Any way you did, whether it was
especially
an encouraging
especially
word.
everyone that showed up to the book launch. That was very
the book
special.
launch was amazing. It was amazing. Standing room only. We are so appreciative. It was better than what we could have ever imagined, for real.
That's me.
So what did you learn?
What did I learn? How much I love my wife.
I learned that when you need to do things, do it. Even if you think you have a lot of time, start doing it a little bit at a time. Because if you don't, as Jason always says, the important things become urgent. And then that's when your back is up against the wall.
Yeah.
So our back was up against the wall. So and now we're sharing with people, right? When you go through the thing, now you can share. The funny, but not so funny.
It wasn't funny. It was not
but
funny.
We weren't worried. The funny thing is that what people don't know is that the book arrived a few hours before the launch.
So we have a launch plan. Everything is there, but there's not one book in the house.
Well, there was one. It was
one. It was our
author's copy. So we
had
did
one copy that we weren't giving away.
So what happened was there's a lot of things that go on in the background.
Yeah.
Right? People see these magnificent
Namely, a lot of
events.
praying.
People see, it's anything, right? These magnificent events, these magnificent birthdays, and people go, "Oh, you did a fabulous job." But there's a lot of things that go on in the background.
Yeah.
And so there were a lot of things going on in the background.
Yeah.
I think Jason was that morning talking to Amazon about 5 or 6 times. I need that shipment to get here. And the thing was, they promised it would be here the week before. Then it was the day before. Then it was the day of. And so
after my event. It was going to show up after the event.
I said, so it's like, how are you going to have a book launch and you have no book?
Well, here's the thing. So I didn't get irate. I wasn't upset. I just spoke to the lady and said, listen, you do understand that 1, I'm a new author. 2, this is an extremely important thing to me. And is if there's any way that you could get me my books, I would greatly appreciate it. Just tell me what I need to do. Who should I call? What should I say? I just need a little help in this situation. Can you help me out? So, and the woman called me back a couple times. And the last time she called me, she said, the driver is coming to you next.
And so just tell me how good God is. They rerouted the driver.
Yeah.
So we had to be at the place earlier before everybody else, and they rerouted the Amazon truck to bring us our books. So shout out to Amazon. Right?
Yeah.
Well, it was your fault in the first place, maybe. I think maybe we played a part in there too. But so
it was a tight deadline, right?
Very. And we couldn't.
But that's because of one. It's just
so
a number of
things.
things. It was so many things.
We're not getting into numbers.
Right.
So it was just so many things.
It was a number of things. But one, prayer works because we got the books on time.
Visioning works.
Humanity works.
Yes.
Visioning works.
Yes. Humanity does work. That's
being
true.
respectful work.
And holding in mind what you know is going to be.
The vision.
The vision,
and
right.
Actually, what helped too is expressing my vision to the person on the other line. And
on the other end.
On the other end.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Expressing to them exactly what this actually meant to me and what it meant to the people that had already paid for the book.
Right.
And what this whole event was all about. So not just saying, oh, you know what, you don't have it, this and we'll try, whatever. No, I put emotion and feeling behind what I was trying to say in a very nice way. I said, just imagine if you were in my shoes. So
we learned a lot. We learned a lot.
We learned a lot.
We learned don't wait till the last minute to get things done.
Check your list 10 or 15 times because I thought I had so many different things. And it's a lot to publishing and it's a lot of different things. And I wanted to do a lot of things and have my book in a lot of places. So I checked my list. I had everything in order. I'm like, oh, okay, so as soon as it comes back from format and we good, we got this. And I got all these things lined up. And it didn't work out that way.
And it's just like anything. It's like relationships. It's like babies. It's like a job.
Yeah.
We have an idea in our mind what it's going to take until we get into that actual situation.
Right.
Right? We say, okay, we'll do this and this and this and this, but we don't always plan for the detours.
Well, you don't even know that it will be a detour, right?
Exactly. And
you
don't
think you
plan
have the
for 'em.
contingency plan. You think everything is all set up. You're like, okay, good, I'm good. If this comes up, I'm here. I got this and all this other stuff.
But in the relationship realm, what we learned through the experience of birthing our book, and so we, people say, well, how long did it take you? Really, we talked about our book for a while, which, Sandra, you've been on our podcast for a while. It's been a while. We said it was coming out. And so after talking about it, but when we actually got busy, it was less than a year, but it took a lot of dedication. It did. And when you're busy, you can always put it off. But in the relationship realm, what it taught us is that even during the trying times, you have to, like I said, you have to be willing to give each other grace.
Yes.
So you feel what we do is we project, right? Mm-hmm. We feel the stress, we feel the anguish, we feel the anxiety, and somebody says, "Hey, did you call so and so?"
Right.
So
and you go running out of the room,
and then your feelings get hurt.
Yep.
But it's really not even about that person.
It's not.
So it's not even about what you said. So we have to be the bigger person and learn to apologize when we are in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be aware of our faults.
Mm-hmm.
And just, it doesn't matter if you're upset. It doesn't matter that somebody at the store pissed you off and you come back home and you take it out on your spouse. We have to learn how to navigate our relationships and be in control of our feelings. So it gave us an opportunity to really practice what was in the book.
Practice.
Because now about that, right? People say, well, do you do everything in the book? Yes and no. Right?
Yes,
everything
but
in this
not
book.
all the time.
Exactly. It's like anything. It's like diets. It's like eating. It's like living, right? We practice everything in this book. We've done.
Yes.
We've done. We've written. It's us. It's us. Do we do it all the time? No. Why don't we do it all the time? Because if we did it all the time, we wouldn't need the book. We wouldn't need to know how to navigate relationships because, as Jason said, we change every day.
Yep.
We allow people to change us. We allow situations to change us. We allow other people to,
You can walk
tell us
out
how
of
we
the door
gonna feel.
good, go to work, deal with people, come back. You come back a changed person.
So the book is a practical thing, right?
Practical.
It's to practice it. It's to say, hey, today, you know what? I read in chapter 7 this. Let me go back and see how they tell me to deal with this. And we do the same thing. That was our guide that we used. And we said, you know what? As I said, if you got something good, why keep it to yourself?
That's right. Share it.
This is what we did to help us through a very trying situation, right? There was a time when Jason and I really weren't speaking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time when we didn't know what to do, whether to call it quits, whether to just, when you love somebody and the hurt is bigger than the love, then we're always so quick to call it quits.
Yep.
So we had to make a hard decision and say, is this going to be the end of us or is this going to be the beginning? And I definitely can stand on the premise of saying, going through things make you stronger.
Yep.
Going through
you may not
things
see
make
them
you
at the
stronger.
time, but it does.
Yes. And so seeking other people's coaching, seeking ministerial help, seeking books, reading, understanding, knowing, going to workshops, going to conferences, realizing that we didn't have the answers, because if we had the answers,
we wouldn't be in a situation.
We wouldn't be going through the situation.
No, we wouldn't even be dealing with this challenge. Yep.
And so as we learned and grew and recognized the bad parts of us, me, I can only speak of me.
Yeah.
The things
well,
that
I have some. I see yours more than mine, but I have a few. so
and I was really good at seeing his and still are.
Yeah,
but that's the problem. We're so busy with our eye on our partner that we can't see our own faults.
Yeah.
And that's really what the book is to get you to know. We got to take our eyes off the other person. It's just like driving down the street. If I have my eye on something else, how can I navigate where I'm going? Right?
Come on now.
So we learned a lot
about writing, about publishing, about each other, about our marriage, about our family,
about the information that we had stopped doing
about
years ago.
Situations
that we learned.
I thought that we were done with.
Yes.
That's like
it was an amazing experience.
It was.
But parts of it I don't need to relive. Sometimes people say one time is enough.
Yeah, one time.
I can become another author, but there's some parts of it that I don't need to relive.
Yeah, I got the cheat code now, boy.
Yeah. So so again, the book is not a one-time put down all.
No.
It's practice. Did Michael say he threw one shot and then he became a famous basketball player? No.
He practiced.
Every day he practiced. And that's what we have to do in our relationships. That's what we have to do in life.
Yeah.
When we know something we need to do, we have to practice it.
So now you got a practical guide out there.
You got a practical guide. As well as Jason, now we practice practical Christianity, which means that we just can't know the word one day and think it's going to always show up in our life. No. We're still living a human experience. We're still in a relationship. I'm still trying to figure him out as well as he's trying to figure him out. I'm still trying to figure me out, and he's still trying to figure me out.
Still trying to figure you out.
And I don't think he ever will because I'm just so intricate. But anyway.
Yeah, case in point. We'll go somewhere. She go, I said, baby, you like something? Like a Reese cup. Oh, yeah, I want a Reese cup. Bring me a Reese cup. Cool. So next time I go to the store, I bring her back a Reese cup. She goes, you don't know me very well, do you?
Who said that? Who says that?
I said, what do you mean, dear? She goes, I don't want a Reese cup. I said, but you like a Reese cup. She said, I do like a Reese cup, but I don't want a Reese cup every time you go to the store. But you could buy me a Twix every time you go to the store, and I don't have a problem.
See, I know him. He needs to know me the same way. So the book was an amazing journey. It's finally here. It dropped number one on New Heart Release, bestseller. It's at Manifest a Joy Filled Relationship.com.
I don't know why I don't have that. I don't know why I don't have that.
And just pick it up and don't put it down.
Right.
People, a lot of times.
Also before I forget.
Okay, I wasn't talking.
You weren't. I mean, you were, but I want to get this out before I forget.
Okay.
So if you have the book, and you should, and if you don't, order it. But on the last page, there's a QR code for a review.
The smart thing to do was to have the book in
I know, right? And I'm like, boy, we're just batting 1,000 here. We got no book here. I'm like,
you guys got to understand it's first day back.
Yeah.
We're gonna have it the next time we come on.
Yeah, I don't know
but
why.
it's right here. It's right here. But
anyway, in the back of the
page,
book, there is a QR code for reviews. If you guys could drop a review on Amazon, we would greatly appreciate it. An honest review, and just tell us exactly.
So this is the Kindle version. And
you got to turn this way.
Okay. Anyway, that's the Kindle version.
Yeah,
now I'm just going to go to the last page so that you guys can see the cute. Wait.
Yep. Go there.
Wait.
Yep. And then
talk to the people.
I'm talking to the people. So if you could do that, we would greatly appreciate it. Because that's how you could have just clicked on the thing and got to the last.
I did. I thought that's what I did, and it didn't go there.
Okay. There it is.
So it says right.
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see that.
Oh wow.
Yep. Camera's good, but they're not that good.
So
anyway, there's a QR code.
There it goes. There's a QR code right there. What did she say? Mm-hmm. What did she say?
I don't know.
You can buy me a Reese cup every time. So
What's that, Nancy, you can buy me a Reese cup every.
So
Thank you.
There's the
you
QR
appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm gonna see if you can see it like. Guys, so at the very last page of the book, this is the Kindle version, so you can get a Kindle version. You can get your hard copy, and you can get
soft copy.
What is it called? It's not
soft copy.
It's not called a soft
paperback.
copy. Paperback. Thank you.
Soft copy depends on who's saying it.
And at the last page, guys, please go and leave a review.
Yeah, we would greatly appreciate that.
We want good reviews, but we want your honest opinion.
Yes.
We really do.
Yeah.
Like I said, and if you have any issues and any questions, you can also come and meet us. We will be at the South Holland Library. That's South Holland in South Holland, Illinois, Tuesday,
October 8th at 7 p.m.
Yes.
And if that's too late for you guys, we're going to be at the Irwin Community Center on October 19th. That's at 10:30 in the morning.
That's a Saturday. 10:30.
Yes.
Be on time.
Yes.
We are time people. Please be on time.
Yes.
So we do want you to read it.
Yes.
We want you to practice it.
Yes.
We want you to write down every question you have about the book or about your relationship, because what it's supposed to do is supposed to be thought-provoking. How does this show up in my relationship? How do I do this? How do I become aware? How am I not doing this? What do you mean by this? Why is this showing up in my relationship, but this is what I'm doing? Write them down, because we think we're going to remember them, and we don't.
We're not.
Write down your questions. Mm-hmm. Meet us at the South Holland Library at 1... That was a cue for you to look up the library's address.
Yeah, I don't have anything to look it up with. Nope.
Okay, here you go. There you go.
That ain't gonna help either.
Jason's going to give you the address to the South Holland Library, which we would have had.
Something.
So I just said, give us grace today. It's our first day back from giving birth, and so we're all in the new baby mode. And so we had to take time off to, do all the things that need to do. And so now we're just getting back into the flow of things, but we will be at the South Holland Library Tuesday, October the 8th at 7 o'clock p.m. for 1 hour. You do have to register. Registration is required. The library has to know how many people will be attending. So please go to the South Holland Public Library.com. And
I don't think it's .com.
It's
.org. It's
Is it?
It's SH Library.
Excuse my voice. So it's SH. You can type in South Holland Public Library.
Yeah, that's how I found it.
And it's either, he says it's .org. So it has to be .org. And go on events, and you will see that famous Jason and Tina picture. It is The Way to Lasting Love. It is October the 8th. Please go register. Please go register. please go register.
All right, I got the address.
All right, so
It's
the address for the South Holland Public Library is
16250 Walsall Avenue in South Holland, Illinois.
woo woo. Say it again.
16250 Walsall Avenue, South Holland, Illinois, 60473.
So if you want to know, there is a Panera Bread on the the northeast corner where you would turn on Wausau. If you turn, you're going to be heading south. It's at the end of the block. It's a dead end. You can't miss it. Yeah. It's at the dead end. It's next to, you'll see the village of South Holland. You'll see the fire department. And then you'll see the library. Yeah. That's where we will be at. Other than that, what to say? Noah?
No city visit. We're coming. We're trying to get to Bronzeville.
We are coming. The city is a little.
Yeah, we're trying to get into.
Anyway, we're gonna love.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do the city.
We're coming. We're coming. Yeah. We are suburban people, so.
But Sandra, if you know someone knows someone,
that's right. That would
let us know.
That's right.
And we will have no problem contacting them.
We are also going to be doing some things that we're trying to collab with October for Domestic Violence.
Yep.
That is important, and it deals in relationships, and that is important to me. Not because I've had experience in it, but because it is important. It's an important thing.
Because we preach healthy relationships.
Healthy relationships.
We want everyone to experience that. So if you're not, and there's some people out here that's not.
Address to the Irwin Community Center, please. All right. So then we will be Saturday, October the 19th. We will be at the Irwin Community Center with the Reverend Shirley Price Lawson. And it will be talking about the spiritual nuggets and the awareness of manifesting and universal laws. So come on out. Again, bring your questions, bring your concerns, bring the book. Let's talk about it. That is, again, Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Irwin Community Center at...
It's 18150 Harwood in Homewood, Illinois, or something like that. I don't know why you do.
All right.
Yep.
So we will be there. We have some other places we will be. I'm not sure if is it next Monday?
What's
it's
that?
Either we will be on
Hit USA Radio.
HitUSARadio.com. Monday through Friday. That is HitUSARadio.com. There will be a segment called In It to Win It, where Jason and I will be talking about relationship things, all things relationship, and we will be taking questions and answering them. So we will be, if you want to catch us on HitUSARadio.com. We'll be on there Monday through Friday between the hours of 2 and 6.
I wasn't off. It was 18120 South Highland, not Harwood, Highland Avenue in Homewood.
And if you're familiar with Homewood, if you're going down Ridge, there is a Dairy Queen the block before. So if you see that Dairy Queen heading west, if you're coming east and you're heading west and you see the Dairy Queen, it's the very next corner. If you're west and you're heading east and you see Dairy Queen, you've passed it. Turn around and go back. All right? It's a big Irwin Community Center.
And that's true.
And bring 3 or 4 friends. Bring your spouse.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Bring your mate. Bring the person you're thinking about getting into a relationship with. And the thing is that we have so many friends where we talk about, I met someone and I was telling them, and I said, if you have a friend that calls you up and complains about their relationship,
bring them.
Or relationship issues,
bring them.
They need to be there.
Yeah.
Send them a text that they need to be there. So please pay attention to the information that we are sending out on social media. There are different events at different places at different times.
It's a lot.
I know it's a lot, but
pay attention.
We're trying to get them all in.
Yep.
We will try to get all of the other places that's coming up in October, a little bit at a time. So we thank you. We appreciate you. And please come out. We also want to get our tribe, because as we start going around to different Barnes and Nobles or libraries or whatever, I heard there's this thing with authors that they have their own core group that always comes. It's like we get together on whenever they're doing it, and then we have lunch, whatever, but they always, they're always there with you. That's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get our tribe together. So wherever we show up, they show up, and we know that you guys have our backs always. We thank you for purchasing the book.
Yes.
We appreciate that you wanting to build stronger relationships. Okay? We also have our course coming out. not the course, the coaching. We're getting ready to start back up now that the baby has been birthed.
Yep.
We're getting ready to start our coaching, and I believe it's October the 14th.
I believe so.
Yes. So we will start October the 14th. We are taking pre-registrations. You can go to Legendary. Nope.
Yeah.
You want to go Legendary?
Yeah. You go
Okay.
legendaryrelationship.com/coaching.
You can do individual coaching or you can do group coaching.
Yep.
Okay, so everything you need is
But
on the
be
website.
ready.
Be ready.
Be ready.
I don't sugarcoat it.
We just don't.
We don't sugarcoat
This is nice. This is a nice environment. Behind it, we have work to do, and we have to get real. It's not messy, but it has to get real. We have to do some healing. We have to.
You gotta do some work.
We have to do some work on ourselves.
Case in point, we was talking to somebody today, and it's like, forget relationships. It's too much work. I was like, you don't say that when your house is dirty, and you look around and say, I'm just gonna live like this because it's just too hard. Everything you got to do work in everything. Why do we think that relationships we're not supposed to do work? Mm-hmm. If you work to make money, to make a living, to keep your home, if you work to keep your house clean, if you work to keep your grass green, if you work to keep your flowers alive, I work at it and it don't. My plants don't make it. But we're not gonna talk about that.
It's okay.
My
baby.
flowers survive, but my plants don't. My plants. So my daughter brought me this really pretty. What is it? Orchid. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it didn't make
for
it.
our book.
I think it's
still hanging on. I asked Jason to take me to the nursery so they could revive
Help
it.
us.
Yes. So anyway, everything takes work. Everything takes work if it's worth having.
Yep.
And it works if you work it. That's what Johnny said. It works if you work it. What was she talking about? Everything. Yeah. All of the it's. All of the relationships, the relationship with our kids, the relationship with our mate, the relationship with the person you work next to, the relationship with the person at the grocery store. Because trust me, if you get into line and that person just got off the phone with their man and they upset, they taking it out on you and they don't want to hear what you got to say. So you got to know how to work relationships.
I got you, baby.
All right. Anything else, Jason? I know I'm doing
I think that's it. There was one other thing. Sweetest Day is coming up.
Yes.
Weddings, people are getting married. Our book is a perfect gift for that, right? So you can give that along with your gift for any anniversaries, Sweetest Day, anything dealing with love. If you feel like they may have a good relationship, but you think it could be a little bit better, pass on the book. You don't have to say anything. The book will do the work itself.
You could do it. You could do it for football games. Pass it out to if you guys are getting together just pass it out to your bros.
Yeah.
Right. Pass them out to everybody. Hey. We're playing football. Let's have some good relationships in here, right? So many times we see a group of people that the whole group is toxic, in toxic relationships. Everybody's doing the same thing, thinking it's okay. No, somebody needs to stand up and say, "Hey, get this book. Get this book to change your life, change your relationship. Let's manifest joy-filled relationships because everybody wants to be happy." I know I do. Also, on the last tip, talking about football games, talking about Sweetest Day. The young men in our family, our sons, have opened up a cookie. So they do cookies. And they are cookies too. Yes, they are delicious. They are wonderful. And if anybody has had any, then they're homemade. Mrs. Fields and what was the crumble cookie don't have anything on them.
Crumble don't have anything
They
on
took
for
the
sure.
recipe from their dad, who has been a baker for a very long time.
Since a child.
Yes. So it's called Bros Bakery. It's BROSSE. And if you guys want some, please reach out to get you some for birthdays, holidays, Sweetest Days. Just because it's Friday night, just because it's Saturday night, just because it's date night, they are really good. Call us. You can go to their website and order you some. All right?
That sounds good. Don't mention any cookies because if I would ask him to make some because, boy, when he does, I can't be eating all my supply.
They've been filling orders and somebody has been getting high on their own supply. I'm like, my son can come out. No, you can't do that. These are orders. So the house is smelling good and everything. Normally it only smells like that during November. Yep. So we've been really trying to have control. All right, guys, we love you. Is there anything else, Jason? I think we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for hanging with us today. It is our first day back.
Oh, there go your 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
I know what you mean. 30 minutes.
You said we're going to be on here for 30 minutes.
Well,
it's almost been an hour and 30 minutes.
You telling everybody that I said that?
Oh.
Wow.
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 Yeah. But
Told you
anyway,
I like to
I
talk.
tell you, well, you have a whole
Well, the
bunch
thing
of
is when
information.
people. Well, the thing
You
is
got
when
some good
people come
information.
in late, I have to repeat myself. So I have to
All right.
tell them that we're talking about breast. So
You have to
anybody
reset the room. I
who's
understand.
in, right? I have to reset it. That's
I
why we
understand.
hate people to be late. But in the beginning, we said we are recognizing breast cancer awareness. So if you are walking or doing something for the month of October for breast cancer awareness, please put in the comments, put the organization, and put the person's name who you are walking for. Or if you've done it in the past, we were also asking, let us know and share how you support, right? How you were supported if you are a survivor, or how you supported someone who was going through it. The other thing is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Yes.
Understanding the signs, getting the knowledge and sharing it, being in tune and knowing people, or just being that brave person. Like I said, we gave P. Diddy, right? How long has this been going on? Too long enough to know that someone should have stood up and said something long before now.
Yeah.
Okay? So let's show up differently. Let's not turn a blind eye. That's all I have to say.
That's all you have to say? Well, then I think that's going to be it, baby.
All right. So thank you guys again. We
Thank
truly
you.
do love and appreciate you guys. Thank you for supporting our book. Thank you for supporting our channel. And thank you for supporting the cause of relationships.
Also, share, too.
Yes. Share
know.
with your friends. Share. So just hit the share button. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. Just hit the share button when it comes up. We are trying to change the dynamics of families.
Yep.
It all starts in the family. It starts in relationships. Let's start changing the way we've been conditioned to believe that we have to have our relationships. All right?
The cookie website is Bros, BROSE, Bakery.
You're right.
.com.
Bros Bakery.
BROSE
Bakery.
Bakery.com.
Could have spelled that out.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. Make sure you go
know
get
what?
yours.
I should have. I don't have any tickers going and anything. That's all right. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
So next week next time we're gonna have the book, we're gonna have the cookies, we're gonna have it all.
Yeah.
Just
If I didn't hit go live, we wouldn't have been here. So
it was hard, guys. It was hard.
I was just like, you know what? I don't
right.
have all of my
We gotta
assets
go.
together.
And you and all the stuff we got to do. You think
Yep.
we would be tired of talking because we are.
No, we're not. But you know what? It's so wonderful to be back.
It is.
That's what it is.
This is an adrenaline rush.
Yes.
It's so wonderful to be back and talk and see everybody. So if you're looking live, thank you. We welcome you.
Thank you.
And if you are watching the replay, hit the share button
Thank you.
and watch it and learn something.
Yeah.
All right.
Or if you're just stopping by and giving a thumbs up, a heart, or a like,
That's
or something
right.
like that, thank you for that too.
Thank you.
Yes.
And hopefully next time Jason will know me more, so when he goes to the store, he can bring me back what I really want.
But Nancy said that she'll take a Reese cup just in case I mess up.
All right.
I'm riding
Send it
around
to
with a car.
Nancy.
I'm gonna ride around a car full of Reese cups.
All right. You ready?
Yep, of course, baby.
All right. And as always,
We're in it to win it. Till next week, guys. Love you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Lovin' Beyond the I Do podcast. Head over to iTunes to subscribe and leave a review. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Legendary Relationship, or visit our website at legendaryrelationship.com. Till next time, remember to make every day count.